Welcome back to Shapes. In between episodes I worked on some of these upgrade shapes. I actually worked on this extraction tier 3 here, and after delivering it realized it was actually the level 10 shape to the hub as well. So I completed level 10 and unlocked the stacker. This will allow us to combine inputs and stack stuff on top of each other. So we're going to use that for this next shape, which is level 11, this jellyfish looking thing. If we zoom out, up top here there is a star and a circle. I'm going to use a full one so that we can paint the full shape, so we don't have to paint 6 shapes, we don't have to paint 3 shapes. Looks like we have an upgrade available. Let's grab the extraction upgrade. Shapes are getting more complex. First thing we'll do is we'll start with a green circle and a teal cyan colored star. So let's go ahead. We are at 6 per second, so I'm going to basically design these factories for 6 per second, I think. And we will start standardizing our factory size once we unlock the blueprint feature. First up, we need to get cyan, which is going to be green and blue. Unfortunately, blue is way up here, but we can drag it down. That'll create cyan. We can bring cyan into the painter here. And we need to grab stars. Those will come over here. We'll go underneath this belt here. That'll give us cyan stars, and we just need to slice these and put them in a stacker. Next up, we'll need green circles. Put these in here and see which way we need to rotate them so that we need circles on the top. So this would be 3 rotations. This will just be 1 rotation. And we can do the same thing up here. This will be I did this the wrong way. We need the bottom half, so this should be exactly opposite. This should be 1, and this should be 1, 2, 3. We can use these new mergers we unlocked to just join the belts together. We can just run them into the stackers. That goes. I guess it shouldn't matter which one is which. That should give us our shape. We just got to run this down to the hub now. But there is our jellyfish. Okay, finally we are at the blueprint shape. That will be very nice to be able to copy and paste stuff. I also did a red pinwheel just to get the upgrades going. So that is the jellyfish. We can upgrade that. And this is being delivered now too. Let's go find a spot for this. I'm going to see if I can find the circle with the one side of it being a square already made, so we don't have to cut stuff up. I believe there's one right here. There's a circle here and one of these right here, so we can use this to make the shape. We need this to be blue and this to be white. First up, we will paint this shape blue. Then we have to paint the circles white, which is going to be the mixture of all 3 colors. So we have red, green, and blue right here. We can mix these together. First I combined green and blue, and then combined that with red. That made white down here. We can now paint the circles white and stack them on top of the blue. Now we can stack them. We have the white circles. The order does matter here. We have to put in, I believe the white circles have to come over to this one so that they go on top of the blue one. So let's try that. There is white circles and this blue shape. Come up this way. Into there. Let's see if that makes the right shape. Looks like it. So we just got to deliver this to the hub. These will be our currency for blueprints now. Pasting shapes will cost a certain amount of these. Level 13 shape, it also matches the upgrade shape for mixing and painting, so that'll be good. We'll work on that. And now we can copy and paste stuff, so it just costs these shapes. Right now we have 3,200 of them saved up. If we select an area, hit C to copy it, we can see it costs 180 of those shapes to paste this. So we'll want to make sure we're delivering those shapes at a constant rate so that we have plenty in stock to be able to copy and paste big, large factories. Alright, onto the level 13 shape. The first thing I did was create a blueprint area on the map here. I have a beacon, so I can just go up here. So now we can just start laying out factories, copying and paste them, make them to the correct ratio. That way we'll just change these as we unlock belt speeds to how many stackers and painters there are. But this will get us going, help us make progress a little bit faster. Back to the hub here, we can look for a spot that has all three colors because we're going to need white as well as squares and circles. That's going to be somewhere close to the hub here because I think as you get away from the hub, whole squares and circles are harder to find. But this area down here looks pretty good. Here's squares, circles, here's all three colors. So let's go ahead and set up a factory down here. First thing we'll need is a mixer, which I've already copied from up top, so I can just hit V and it'll paste it down. And we just got to figure out the orientation we want. We're going to need 2 setups of this for the white and 1 setup of this for the magenta. So let's do, I don't know, is that magenta or purple? I'm not really sure. Let's leave 2 spaces between it. Alright, so here's the colors. We got white mixed up here and then magenta over here, so we can just bring our squares and our painters in, which is another blueprint I'll have to create. I made blueprints for stacking and mixing, but I didn't make one for painting. So I'll go up to the blueprint area real quick and make a painter setup and bring that down. On a side note, this actually reminded me of some candy I used to eat as a kid. They had these little circles on paper. It was like 3 or 4 circles wide by, I don't know, like a foot long, and you'd eat these little circles of candy off the paper. If you have any clue what I'm talking about, leave me a comment, but it was a long time ago, probably 30 plus years ago, so, but it'd be funny if somebody remembered what the name of that stuff was. So anyways, let's get this next blueprint set up and get this shape going. This is my painter setup. We'll have to start focusing on what sides we input and output stuff on. But this should work here. We're going to need room to bring in some shapes. About the same width, so that's nice. So we need the magenta needs to come into the top. And we just need to bring the shapes in and then copy the stacker output down here. And we should have our shape. Much easier with copy and paste. Comes at just the right point in the game where you get tired of doing the same setup over and over, so it's good timing. Here's that shape. Looks like we got it right. We got the stuff on the right sides. So we just got to grab and pull this into the hub. I wish you could pull belts backwards in this game. Hopefully on Shapes 2, that's something they take care of. Because it's kind of a pain in the butt doing it this way. I know you can copy and paste belts, but I don't feel like wasting my blueprint shapes right now on that. But you got to make sure you're lined up. I guess once you get it drawn once, it's not too bad, but while that shape's going, we're going to work on this one. This is just a yellow circle and a red star, so that should be pretty easy. Increase our belt speed, which will help greatly. There's a circle and a star right here. The hub is right down here. So we can go ahead and grab these two and make that real quick. Alright, here is that shape. We have this upgrade already. We just go ahead and unlock the mixing and painting upgrade. That is getting some crazy shapes here. We're working on this shape right now. We'll start this shape probably pretty soon. Get these leveled up as quickly as possible. These are a little bit more complicated. But let's take a quick look at this. This is just the mixer. Makes yellow. Red's coming in from over here. This paints the stars red. This paints the stars yellow. And we just stack them on top of each other and off to the hub they go. Let's go, speaking of the hub, let's go down here. We have a new shape. Instead of requiring a certain amount of them, it requires 8 per second. So our belts right now are only 6 per second. We are working on upgrading them, so maybe I'll wait till this is done to see if this belt comes at 8 per second. Alright, so I let that run while I had some lunch. We can go ahead and upgrade this. Looks like a 3-layer shape now. That's going to be fun. Let's take a look at the belt speed. It is now 8 per second, so that's perfect. All we gotta do is fill up one full belt and bring it into the hub. I have set up a beacon now for current, so there's just basically current is where we're currently working. So this circle here, red and green here, so we can make a setup here for the watermelon piece. But first let's shoot up to the blueprints and make a cutting blueprint. Cutter is the same shape as these here, so we can actually just copy this over. Go ahead and delete these and just put in the cutters and we should be good. Now this is probably not 8 per second, so we'll have to expand it a little bit to get the 8 per second. But there's, I don't know what I was thinking. The cutter is only a 1 belt, not 2 belt. So that is kind of silly. Let's delete that. Should be able to just copy this piece over. This looks, we don't even need the tunnel, so I wonder if I can do this if it'll. There we go. That looks much better. We're going to need to paint 2 circles here. Let's just do it. Let's see. Here and there. That should give us enough room up here. It's going to be kind of tight, but we need to make sure these are doing at 8 per second. So our current paint speed is 1 item per second, so we need 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're a little over, so that's good there. And this setup is actually way overkill. I'm not going to redo it, but we really only need 2 of these because this is going to make a whole circle that we're going to chop up and then just rotate the parts to make it the shape we want. So we really only need 2 of these. That would get us 8 per second. So we are going to be way over the 8 per second. Alright, so really we just need 2 of these setups, I think. This will cut the circle. Let's just go ahead and bring one over so we can see how it works. So this cuts it, this rotates it clockwise, this rotates it counterclockwise, and it cuts it again. So we need the bottom piece, which is none of these. So we will have to rotate them all. It looks like this is the right shape there, so rotate that one once, rotate this one twice. That gives us 4 watermelon pieces. This is cutting at 1.5 per second, so this is actually outputting 3 per second, so 6 per second. So we just need to copy this over to here and just draw. This is just a quick factory to get us meet this goal. I don't think we need this piece again. So that should get us going. We just need to merge these. And this is a pretty sloppy factory, but it will suit its purpose. Alright, so that should be good. We just gotta find the open spot on the hub here. See if we can move these over. What's going on here? Do we need that piece? We do need that piece. Let's deliver the 1 per second right now, or the 8 per second, then we'll hook this back up. Let's go ahead and merge all these. And that should give us the 8 per second. Let's watch and see. I don't know how long it takes to register. There we go. We have unlocked storage building. It allows us to store up to a given capacity. It prioritizes the left output, so we can use it as an overflow gate. So that basically means it'll always flow out this side with priority, and if for some reason this side backs up, it'll start putting them out this side. So next up is this crazy shape. I believe that's actually, is that the same shape? Yeah, so it's the same shape as the tier 5 belt upgrade, so we might work on doing some of these first. Maybe we'll just do the belt one since it's the next one. The next shape is this here, where actually it's just a white star on top of this shape. We already have a lot of this shape, so I'm going to go ahead and use this shape and just put a white star on top of it and hope that these disappear. And I think you can upgrade these things further, but I don't know if it just shifts all down one, kind of like I did in Beltmatic, or if this gives you a whole new shape to play with. So in the meantime, it'll be easy enough to set up a white star on top of this, and then we will just change it to a new factory if we have to find that we need to keep producing that shape. So that is coming in over here. Up here, I believe. So let's make 2 more mixing stations to make white over here, and then the stars just needs painted and then stacked on top of this. Mixers down here to make the white paint. Then we need a painter. That is this setup here. Take that down to here. Paint that here. That will paint it, and then we need a stacker. Right here. And that comes down to here, and then just gets stacked on top of this shape. Alright, so we should bring red or green and blue into here. Red will come down into here. Excuse me, that should make white. Here comes white. Let's grab this star shape that can go in here. That will make white stars. There's the white stars. Now this should go, that looks like correct. We can grab these. Stick them in here. And then this output should just go back up to here. It looks like the correct shape. So that's going to take some time. At 8 per second, it is roughly 52 minutes to complete that shape. So that is kind of an idle game, unless we do a whole nother setup for that, which is kind of, I think, crazy. But we do need to expand these a little bit. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stackers. Stackers are only at 0.75, so that would only be, what, roughly 6 per second. Alright, so that's a full belt of those going through. So while we're waiting for those, we can, instead of doing another setup of these, we will take some time and start working through some of these shapes so that we can upgrade these as well. I guess we'll do this shape next. So a blue pinwheel on a white circle. Here's half a pinwheel here, so we can take 2 full belts of that shape, cut it to make 1 belt of pinwheels. There's a circle down here. So let's start with making the pinwheels. We will cut this shape in half, restack it as a pinwheel, and paint it blue. So we're going to need 2 sets of slicers for this. Let's go ahead and set this as current. Let's go to the last current, get rid of that one. Go to the blueprints, and we were looking for the cutter. I hate when I do that. That is a Parkinson's problem. It's dangerous when the right mouse button is a delete button with Parkinson's, because I don't always have control of my fingers, and it deletes stuff quite frequently. But nature of the beast. I think some games I'm able to re-keybind the right mouse button to something else, but it's so convenient in this game that I hate to lose that ability. So we're just going to deal with it. So let's copy this and take that down to the current and set up shop down here. I pasted my cutter solution, and I don't know what I was thinking when I was doing that one. It's just not doing it correctly, but we will get it figured out. This needs 2 separate ones. One of them is going to be trash, so we'll have to bring it down and see which one is the trash, or if I'm even slicing it the right way, which luckily I am. So that's the pinwheel. So this side here is the trash. So we'll have to move this down a little bit so we can put some mergers. I guess we could actually fit the mergers in here, but I like some space in between them, so let's move this around. Alright, that looks better. Let's copy that. Move that down to there. Let's grab the second one. That should give us this, then we need to stack them back together and paint them blue. So there is that shape for the upgrade. It looks like the hub's next shape is requesting this, so we're just making this inner circle in the blue part, so we'll have to find this 2 half square, half circle piece and put on top of that, but we'll probably just wait till this is done to see if we can just reuse that piece instead of making it again. But I am going to, in between episodes, probably take care of this shape as well so that we can get closer to the MAM. I'm trying to make sure I don't get burned out on the game before I make it to the MAM, so that way, because that's really what I want to accomplish in this series. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.